Welcome to Tank's podcast, where you get to hear people's past experiences and by getting to know what made us into who we are as a person. Now back to my next episode of Tank's podcast. Welcome back to Tank's podcast. I would like to welcome Jack to the show. Welcome to the show, Jack. How you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
What movie really captures the era it was made in?
Ooh. What movie really captures the era that it was made in? I'm going to have to go with this movie called A River Runs Through It. It's a movie based in Montana, has Brad Pitt in it, and it's a fly fishing movie. And it just talks about the kind of whenever the war happened, how this guy had to go away and go to work for industry, and it's just like growing up in that time and how fly fishing was kind of a therapy kind of thing for him. And yeah, it's just super cool time.
Interesting. What's the most useful skill you've ever learned?
Ooh, the most useful skill, I think it's got to be changing a tire. It's a really useful skill. I had to help my sister do it not too long ago, and I'm learning that a lot of college kids don't know how to change a tire, and so it's a useful skill to know how to do. Just whenever you're stuck on the road, you can go and change a tire.
I feel like everyone that knows how to drive should know how to change a tire by now.
They definitely should. They definitely should.
Which Olympic sport do you see as physically and mentally challenging?
Ooh. Physically and mentally challenging. I feel like that one that's a real tough one. I say like wrestling, because I feel like it's super technical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you just got to be super strong and built, but then you also got to know all of the different techniques that are involved in it, and so it makes it a lot hard.
What was your favorite cartoon when you were growing up?
Ooh. I actually just had a conversation with someone about this yesterday. I think my favorite cartoon is probably going to have to be Looney Tunes. I like me some Bugs Bunny. I like being able to just watch Bugs Bunny run, and then Roadrunner and the Coyote. I think those two are my favorite. Watching Roadrunner run from Coyote in it, and just how fast he is. It's like, man, I want to be that fast someday. So, yeah.
I do remember that one time in FCA where you had a Space Jam tie, so I'm sure that shows your favorite cartoon.
Yep, that's my inspiration right there.
What is the highest pressure situation you have experienced, and how did you handle it?
Ooh, that's a good question. My highest pressure situation, I feel like I got in a little car accident not long ago, and it was kind of just like scary, and it had a lot of pressure in like knowing what to do and make the right decision, I guess. I don't know if that's considered a high pressure situation. It's more of just like a scary situation.
Right.
But I had to like call the police and make sure all of that is okay. No one was injured in it, so thank God for that. But it was just interesting having to respond by calling the other lady's husband, and then I called my parents, and then just trying to figure out how to do it, what I'm supposed to do, and how it all works, filling out police reports and all of that, calling insurance companies, and so it was a tough situation, but was able to learn from it, and yeah.
I'm glad you guys made it uninjured.
Yes, me too.
If you had to give advice to someone before they go out into the real world, what would it be?
So advice, I would probably say be confident in who you are and yourself before you go. Don't try to go out and just figure everything out if you're aren't necessarily prepared, because it's going to be a lot harder. Have a backbone of like who you are, and have kind of like a core support system. That's important stuff. And if you have a relationship with God in that, it is amazing. I definitely recommend that. Yeah.
Good answer, Jack.
Yes.
Which place or state, whichever one you'd like to name, would you say has the best pizzas?
The best pizzas. Well, I haven't really, I guess, traveled around the country a ton and tried their pizzas, but I heard New York's is pretty good, and I had a couple New York style kind of pizzas, and they're big and juicy, and they're pretty delicious. So I'm gonna have to go with that New York style pizza.
What was your favorite memory from last year?
All right, my favorite memory from last year. Oof, that's a tough one, Owen. Think for a second. I'm probably gonna have to say, whenever I went camping with just me and my dog, we hiked into this place about 2 miles with my backpack on and stayed in the tent, and we stayed on a creek. And whenever we got in there, fished for like maybe 30 minutes, an hour, caught dinner, and came back and started cooking it, and this thunderstorm came in. And the thunderstorm was crazy, just lightning and all this stuff, and I could see the lightning like striking the ridge right above where my tent was. So I just got in my tent with my dog, and we just bundled up for the night, and it went on for about 4 hours or so. And it was a crazy experience to have that. It was definitely an experience I don't know if I want to experience again, but also at the same time, it was just so exciting and great to be out in nature that I would be okay with experiencing something like that again. So,
Right. Can I ask where you went camping?
It was on East Elk Creek.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What experiences shaped your lifestyle?
Experiences that shapes my lifestyle. Definitely just growing up in like a Christian household, or a missionary mindset household, where God is always present and like welcomed in our family, and I just learned a lot about that growing up. Never really, I guess, accepted that personally, but I was just like, I didn't accept that personally until I went to college, like actually fulfilling that relationship with God. But I felt like just growing up, that kind of just shaped me, just spending time with my parents and learning from them, seeing what they're doing every single day in their workplaces, and I'm like, man, I want to do that someday. I want to be like them. And so then just going to college and being intentional, putting people in your life that will support you in that and love you for whoever you are, and even whenever you might be struggling with things, it's just been amazing. And so I definitely say God has shaped me into who I am now. And yeah, it's been amazing.
What made you into who you are as a person?
What made me into who I am as a person?
Yep.
Like a specific event, or what do you mean by that?
Well, normally when I ask that question, I mean it like in general. So it could be about anything that you think made you into who you are as a person.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go back to just relationship with God, relationship with others. You love God, you love people, And if you're able to do those things, then it's pretty fun. Just showing love towards others and expressing, I guess, his love in that. And so, yeah, that's all I can really think of in that.
My bonus question is, which of the two
cities
in Colorado do you prefer going to than the other? Do you prefer going to Grand Junction or Aspen? And whichever one you choose, can you explain as to why you choose that?
Yeah. I'm probably going to have to say Aspen just because of the beauty. Grand Junction, don't get me wrong, it's a great place, great city. But, and people, they might even be a little better there. But I'm going to say the location of Aspen, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. You can't get much better in Colorado than the beauty that they got there. So,
have you heard about
The sand dunes that are in Colorado Springs, that I hear it's like a national park. I just had this conversation with my last guest.
I heard those are kind of like by Alamosa, Colorado Springs-ish area. And so I drove past those this year. I didn't actually get to go there. I went skiing at Wolf Creek and drove right past it. And so wishing I would have stopped by for a little bit to go check it out. Need to at some point.
What have you been doing these days?
Oh, yeah. So last semester, I went to Wayland Baptist University. It's a school in Plainview, Texas. And I went there to play soccer. And I played soccer there for one semester. And then I wasn't feeling that was the right place for me. Just the culture and just kind of the people there, I didn't really necessarily connect with on a great level. And so made the decision to transfer to West Texas A&M. And that's about 40 minutes up the road in Canyon, Texas. And it has been a great transition for me. I've met tons of amazing people and joined some really cool organizations. And I went on this retreat this weekend, and these people just love God, and it is amazing. And I'm so happy I could be a part of it. So,
Wow.
That's really what I've been up to.
I kind of thought about how things were like in Texas, and I was just wondering what exactly makes Texas a great place to be in.
Yeah, it's definitely the people. The people are just nice. They're just nice to you. You might not even know someone, but they like seem to genuinely care about you that day whenever you're talking to them. And that's just super cool and super nice to have that. Kind of feels like you're not alone, I guess, in it. And that specifically, I feel like in the panhandle of Texas. I can't speak for the whole state, but I feel like in the panhandle of Texas, it's just like this general niceness that is just here. And then a con, kinda, of it is I can't do all my outdoor stuff that I like to do that I like in Colorado.
Right.
And so that's kind of tough, not having that. I get to find some back roads, though, that I can go drive on, that kind of thing. We have a canyon that's not far, and so go check out that kind of stuff.
All right. I've always assumed you've been in Colorado and in Texas. Were there any other states that you've also been to as well?
Oh, yeah. So I have grandparents that are in Oklahoma, so I've been there. I've been to California on a trip. Been to New Mexico to go skiing. Been to Arizona and Nevada, just driving through, going to California, hanging out for a little bit on the way. I have been up to Montana to go and check out some schools up there in my college search. And then went to Wyoming on the way through there stopped and fished for a little bit. Then went over to South Dakota to check out another college there where Mount Rushmore is. Stayed in a town called Spearfish, South Dakota, looking at Black Hills State University. And then I have been to Missouri for a summer camp called Kanakuk that I went to my freshman and sophomore year of high school.
Oh, well.
And then after that camp, my parents came and picked us up in a camper, and we went all the way to North and South Carolina, driving through Tennessee. I think we went to Arkansas at one point, and I don't remember. There's one other state we drove through. I think it might be Kentucky. But, yeah, that's everywhere I've been. A lot of places. Oh, and Nebraska.
Oh.
Been to Nebraska.
Is there at least one state where you just wanted to get out of?
Kansas.
Really?
There's nothing to do in Kansas.
I assume that that's the case because obviously there aren't any mountains surrounding Kansas, so.
It just, you can see for miles, not even a hill.
Oh, man.
And it reminds me of the movie The Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
I
man.
don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Oh, man. That does make sense. I mean, even though I've never been to Kansas, it sounds like might not be like the best state to really visit in terms of, spring breaks and whatnot. I was also wondering, which country would you want to visit someday?
Which country I would want to visit? I'm going to say New Zealand, just because of the mountains, the beauty of it. There's this amazing fishing video I watched, and it got me hooked, so I need to go there now. So someday.
What do you think about the United Kingdom?
Oh, I've actually been to the UK before.
No way.
Yes, I went there in between my junior and senior year. No, between sophomore and junior year, the summer before COVID happened. Took a trip to the UK, to England and Scotland. Stayed in a little Airbnb apartment in London. And then got a rental car, my family did. Somehow we were able to get rental cars. I don't really understand that because it's on the wrong side of the road. But,
Right.
We were driving, and it was an experience learning how to drive on that other side of the road, on the other side of the car. Like the driver's side's on the right side of the car instead of the left,
Right.
and you drive on the left side of the road, and so it's
Right.
just a little funky. But it was so fun. It is gorgeous. Scotland, definitely recommend. Between those two places, we saw so many castles, and they're gorgeous. Definitely a sight to see. Just all the history that's involved in those places, and how much has gone on there.
Right.
Like you can you can see the movies like in real life, kind of thing is what it feels like. Like you can see the cannons that they had in the castles to protect it, the little gun holes that they could put it up to, the royal palaces, and all of the different levels, like the hierarchies that they had in those castles. It's just amazing. And it's all just like green, just fields that you just see. It's gorgeous.
Hopefully one day. I just also plan on going over to the UK, maybe even Scotland.
Yeah, it definitely depends on what you want to see though. Like if you want to go see those castles, I say Scotland. You'll find them all the way up though. Like you'll find them if you take a bus even from London to Scotland or train, whatever. You'll
Right.
find it. So yeah.
Have you ever gone to Vegas when it's night?
I haven't been there at night. I just drove through during the day, and so we stopped and ate food there. We never went to the strip or anything there.
Of course not.
Yeah, just drove down. I stopped at the Nike outlet. That place was pretty cool.
I also want to keep this in mind. So, what is the number one place that you would recommend in Colorado?
I don't know if you've ever been over to Leadville.
Well, this was like back in junior year. We left Salida and I think we just passed to Leadville,
Yeah,
so
we went through Leadville then.
Yeah.
Leadville, it's just a cool town. I really like this pizza place that they have there. Whenever I'm taking back roads to get home, I stop there and eat pizza. Whenever I would go on ski trips or stuff like that, I'd go down there after the day and sit down and get a drink and have a pizza.
Right.
And it's just nice. They have this meat lovers pizza that's delicious. Definitely recommend. Another place is Maroon Bells, which is in Aspen. Just a gorgeous place. And then if you ever go to Marble is up from Carbondale a little bit. Like, it's a road that goes off, I think kind of northeast from Carbondale, I believe. And it has this road where you can go and see this cool mill, and they have some lakes there that you can hang out at. And it's just gorgeous. And then they have a barbecue place there that is great. It's delicious. Definitely recommend going there.
Gotcha.
Yes.
That concludes this interview, and I would like to thank you, Jack, for being on the show and to talk with me about how life has been since the last time we hung out.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while since I've talked to you, so it's great to even just hear your voice, even if it's been a long time. And we'll definitely need to catch up whenever I'm in town. I'll be around all summer too. I'm gonna be a fly fishing guide this summer, what my plan is, and so I'll be around for that, and I'll probably get to see you at some point.
Right. Again, thank you,
Awesome.
Jack, for being on the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
You have yourself a good rest of your night, Jack.
All right, you too.